So twitch.tv. Go here. Join.
Join.
And all set for the questionnaire if anybody shows up.
Alright, that's the thing we're doing now.
Doing it, guys. We're doing it.
What do you want, phone? Ugh.
They probably all showed up at 5 when they were supposed to. We weren't going today.
But yeah, so glad Destiny is finally progressing though from Activision's grasp. I'm so excited for Shadowkeep.
No, it's Sling.
Yeah, yes, it's Sling.
I keep thinking it's Fling because that makes sense.
It's Fling if you've played Portal. Fling yourself.
Considering everything else, Sling makes sense.
But fling is what Gladys said, and fling is what we shall do.
Yes, but
It won't
GLaDOS
do
is
you any
alive.
good.
Actually, GLaDOS is the name of my car's GPS unit.
What does it stand for?
I will leave you to learn that by playing through Portal 2.
You tell me it never offered you cake, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Well, I had it guide me to a place that sold cake. No, all of my electronics are named after various artificial intelligences.
What's the maximum power you could put a sling at? I just wanna...
Honestly, it's either 300 or 400.
He's just
maybe it was 1,000. But yeah, you just kind of knock yourself out of the park.
Wow!
Now all Zim needs to do is actually put his son on stream so we can start flinging all the Pokemon into it.
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
Yay, a host! Also, that name reminds me of one of my very first usernames that I ever used and that everybody hated.
What is that name that everyone hated?
Noah545402.
Too many numbers. Uninstall. GG.
Yeah, because nobody could ever get the numbers correct, so they all hated.
Yeah, that's why I stopped doing numbers. Numbers are only for emails. That way no one will ever remember. Also, did my, Oh, it did. God fucking damn it.
What?
No, my, I gotta close Fantasy Grounds.
Whee!
I'm back.
I'm not even touching the password thing. Honestly, I just smash my keyboard a bunch for most of my passwords.
We all getting into Fantasy Grounds? Yes, no?
I would hope you're all already in Fantasy Grounds.
I have to reload Fantasy Grounds. I thought it would be.
So I have figured out there is a point where it seems that the power is kept.
Okay, whoever is typing needs to mute themselves. Seriously, guys, we've been doing this long enough.
Doing what?
Mass. Never mind.
He's saying we've been doing this long enough to know our voice chat etiquette. One being, if you have an exceptionally loud keyboard, use push to talk.
Technically, the rule for the chat is if you have any loud noises, put yourself on push to talk. I am doing my staff duties. Be proud of me.
Banning everyone.
Okay. Okay. Tim would fucking kill me.
Hey, Zoom, can I have admin?
Easy.
No, I'm not going to.
What the? Where are you finding these tweets, Tato?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I can't just go to your Twitter.
What makes you think it'll be on my Twitter?
Because you'll have either liked it or retweeted it.
What makes you think I didn't just find the tweets on another website and it was just a copy paste?
What website did you find them on?
Tumblr.
Ha! Made you tell me where you got them.
So?
Hey, Tato.
Come on.
Copy. Tweet. Just there.
Potato.
Actually, now I would kind of want to ask Tato, what's the weirdest way somebody said your name before?
He's AFK again.
Oh.
Again. Again. Say so, why must you do this to us? We're not given approval.
I'm back.
Tato,
What?
what's the weirdest way somebody's pronounced your name? And or funniest, either one.
I think the best way I've come up with it was calling me Tato Thought.
Tato Thigh?
Tato Thought. T-H-O-T. It's a play on Tato Tot.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. Som är en... Ja.
Say again?
Okay. I guess he's not gonna say it again. Tato.
What's up?
And before we started the stream, people said that you were good at making funny sounds. Can you make me a funny sound real quick?
Yeah, they really do have to be spontaneous and generated
Yeah.
from natural phenomena.
Slap
I can't
yourself
do
a
it
few
on the
times.
spot. No. They gotta be on the spot.
Like when Teo dies laughing, then we have to continue the session without him because he died for the day.
That's not actually what happened, but okay.
Uninstall Tato. Yeah, reinstall.
Oh, we
Get 'em back.
did Battle Royale and I completely missed it. The cat one.
What about Battle Royale?
Apparently we had a stream Battle Royale. But we're starting now. Why is the
Oh,
donation
yeah, too.
I just need to ask, what is the donation goal? Extreme Makeover Tomb Edition.
Because I always honor the donation goals.
But what is that?
Well,
What sort of question is
find
that?
out how to meet the donation goal, wouldn't they?
Yeah, if somebody meets the donation goal, we'll find out.
The thing is that I have no idea if that's a good thing for us or a bad thing for us. Because that's a whole...
Tato, would I
tomb
ever
makeover.
do anything bad to any of you?
Yes.
Good, an honest answer.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream.
Did you feel
I-
cringe too?
I'm Razim, and this is the glorious, long-running Fist of Furry Dungeons and Dragons.
Can I roll to slap Zim in real life?
Yes.
I will turn this most glorious of occasions
I rolled a
over to the capable hands of Moriarty for the recap.
Yes, hello, I'm Moriarty McCann. I was vaguely here for the previous session in which these fine gentlemen before me here were fighting a bunch of cultists, in which they took down one of the main priestesses, it seems.
What the hell are you doing?
Who, me?
Yes,
You
Not
said Moriarty McCann.
yes.
Did you not?
Why
Yeah,
are you
you
not
asked him to
singing
do the
it?
recap.
Endowment.
What are you doing?
Why are you not singing it? You're supposed to sing it.
No, he's not.
I do believe you have a misconception of the bard and how they do.
No,
You're thinking of the Wednesday stream.
it's what he does in the Wednesday group.
Yes, that's specific for the Wednesday group because I
No,
think
no,
that
no,
You
no.
can't
gotta-
take the Wednesday magic away and transplant it willy-nilly in the Friday group. That's not how we roll.
Bards are artists, okay? They can do their interpretation of things however they feel. Doesn't always have to be song. Give them a chance. You never know. It makes it better than the Wednesday.
Can I get another roll to slap Zim?
Endowment.
I'm gonna roll it
Wow.
anyway.
Ben and
10.
Turlix, thank you very much for those donations. Looks like we're finding out what the Extreme Makeover Tomb Edition is.
Two of us just really wanted to know. Also, for some odd reason, gave my actual name instead of my username.
Are you logged in?
Yes. I should be logged in as Gold King. Yeah, I am. Weird. I don't.
Twitch
What?
says you are what I make you, and you have to live with it.
Fair enough.
Can't choose Twitch.
But as the bard player, I'll be making songs about you as you actually do things I can witness. So there will still be songs. Don't worry about that. I still plan on having those.
Does this mean I can kill you now, or should I hold off on that?
I mean, you can try.
Like you say, he wasn't here for all the previous sessions, so you can't think about all of our mess ups.
Which is why I say, can we kill you now or later?
I'm not gonna go full on Sir Robin on you, where you're boldly running away.
Okay. Then I will only contemplate.
This furry D&D session is called Fox in the Henhouse. Oh no. What shenanigans. Anyways, if that's enough for me, I'll go ahead and turn it over to the DM.
Oh, is it my turn? I am Ma'alinir. I am the dungeon
no,
master.
No.
No.
Cut. No. After the bard did his thing, we've got to move over to Tato. Remember, we rehearsed this, guys.
We did not. We objectively did
We
not.
did not.
Oh, right. I said, fuck it, we'll do it live.
I wasn't a part of this meeting. What?
I'm just completely lost.
Azeroth, be ready. You've got a dance number coming up. Tato, go.
I wasn't ready.
Okay, I'll roll performance then.
No.
Why are you leaving these guys to do a performance?
Because you didn't.
If you want an impromptu performance, I can do one, but it's not going to be.
I told you to do it.
I rolled a 16. I'm doing good.
Cry. No one said I'd have to practice.
All right, Tato, you're good. Azeroth, your turn.
Oh, bloody, oh, blada. Did I win?
No, because you just revealed an ancient secret prayer of your Order of Tempest, and you will have divine punishment for it.
Cry. I didn't know that was secret. No one told me.
It's not my fault you weren't paying attention during the lecture.
Yeah, that's like the equivalent of a druid teaching druid language. You're gonna lose all your spells.
I like how we haven't even started yet and we're already off the rails.
Oh yeah.
Head rails.
Cry.
Everything's
Cry.
rolling. Oh, this is Fists of Furry Dungeons and Dragons. I am the DM, Ma'alinir. Last week, the group infiltrated the Howling Caves, a deep section of the Underdark that has been occupied by a cultist of wind fanatics. They're currently standing in front of an elemental node of air. This is a massive thundercloud hanging in the middle of a series of spikes, the image of which I am bringing up eventually.
I see it.
Oh, no, that's a map. This is the image.
Oh.
I have just slain a Risi Kalanoth, the High Prophet of the Howling Hatred cult, and hopefully disrupted whatever plans she had set into motion.
She was easy. She went down. Like, darn it. Wait, this is a family stream.
How dare you have a family?
She could have done more flying.
She might have, but someone was angry and didn't think tactically.
You're right, because Tato kept pissing her off. It was funny.
I don't know why you felt the need to make fun of her so, but...
Because these guys are so full of themselves that they can't take insults at all.
Whatever works.
Yeah, basically that.
The thunder cloud is still churning within those pillars of rock. There is an altar at its base, which Risi was standing at when you first entered.
By the way, I have her head. Tato holds it down like a football. With like... he's like...
With the
"Hey,
blood dripping down your armor because severed head, yes.
Yes, of course. No, I'm holding it down on the ground, like in the Peanuts comic. Grandpa, you wanna go for a kick?
Sounds like a plan.
Cool. I pulled the head away at the last moment. Awkward silence.
Yeah.
I can't say anything. I'm not there yet.
Right.
Well, Nim will be concerned about the cloud of storm and lightning.
Yeah, I think we should destroy the altar.
Nim will cough cough up a moon flare at it.
I mean, it's a stone altar.
No, he's doing it into the cloud.
Okay.
He can't bite it, so this is the best next step.
Are you directing it into the middle of the cloud?
Yes.
Let me rephrase. Are you attempting to target any particular area of the cloud, or just shining it in that general direction?
Yeah, sorry, I'm being called.
General direction.
Okay. You flash it into the clouds, and the beam doesn't actually penetrate to the floor. Aside from that, you don't notice anything in particular.
Wait, my moon flare didn't go into the cloud?
Were we
Oh,
supposed
no,
to
it enters the cloud whenever moonbeam moves from ceiling to floor, correct?
No, moon flare.
Oh,
My
moon flare.
My
I heard
version
moonbeam, my
of the firebolt.
Okay, well, that does kind of require a target bigger than it, or smaller than I fire it in the general direction of the cloud.
Question.
Not really.
Possible answer.
Were we supposed to discuss loot?
Can
Oh,
we,
yes, we were.
deal with the altar and then deal with loot?
Fine.
But what if the altar
My
blows up?
target is the cloud.
All right. You will give me an attack roll. As these
Seriously?
things are done. If you want to target the cloud, I need an attack roll, because if you hit, you hit. But if you roll a 1, I get to give you a fumble.
I don't know why I rolled
you
it
hit the
in
cloud.
tower, but
hits the
okay.
cloud. Cloud hit.
It hits a little off-center of the cloud, a bit to the left, passes right through, just like it would any other cloud.
You've hit the cloud. Millions of people are upset after the loss of internet. I mean, storage.
After the loss of their cloud storage files.
Yeah.
I'm not even in the party yet, and I already hate this.
Not my fault. He did it. Okay, the altar is a large stone slab. Not a separate piece, but simply a flattened section of the same rock that makes up the rest of this chamber. Looks like it might once have been a bit of stalagmite that was leveled off. Is anybody approaching said altar?
I'll go to the altar.
Okay, atop the altar is a familiar shape, an orb. Though unlike the one you found previously, which was made of swirling dark water, this one appears to be clouds churning amongst themselves in a whirlwind pattern.
Oh, okay. Pull the orb off.
Okay. As with the water orb, it seems as though some kind of barrier prevents your hands from passing all the way through it. Although you can still feel the movement of the wind inside. It's like picking up a bowl that has water churning around it.
I'm back again.
As soon as your hands touch it, dark whispers squirm their way into your mind, leaving behind an almost greasy feeling, like you have been sullied. You will recognize Primordial from the sound, having heard it before, but unlike the previous one, which were an almost guttural, gurgling voice, this is a lilting, almost musical tone.
So creepy. Got the orb. Did the storm cloud go away?
Do you look up at the storm cloud?
Yes.
Give me a perception check.
Oh no.
Speaking of sentient storms, by the way, which you guys skipped earlier, which might have been good practice for this.
Him shooting another flare.
As you look up into the storm cloud, you see, you'd almost describe it as a window deep within the churning depths, and staring back at you is a dark shape, large enough to make the stone pillars that support the cloud seem small in comparison. As you notice it, you feel the orb pulse in your hands, and a shock of energy runs through you. And you can almost feel the presence of that dark form pressing toward you.
Try to throw the orb to the ground.
Okay, give me
Or
a will
just
save.
let go of it in any shape, way, or form.
Give me a will save.
Which one was will save?
Sorry, wisdom. It takes you a few moments, but you finally manage to prise your hands apart, and the orb drops to the ground. As it does, the window, which you have not yet managed to look away from, does seem to shrink a little bit.
Yo, to kick the orb further away from the altar.
Okay, anybody doing anything while Elysian is playing soccer? Or football for our European viewers?
I vote we take a rest in the ominous kale and stop.
I don't know. I think I'd like to just grab the orb from Elysian and stuff it in his own bag of coal.
Okay, if you chase down the orb and grab it, you can certainly attempt to do so. However, as you try to push the orb, first off, the moment your hands touch it, the same lilting, sinuous tone enters your mind. And the orb cannot pass the opening of the sack of coaling.
Orb is bigger than attack.
No, it's as though there's a barrier preventing its entry.
Well, obviously this orb is of some... Wait, did we roll anything to see if anyone knows what this orb is?
No, you have not rolled anything to see what anything is.
Okay.
I can only assume that this is like one of those special orbs, like the orb of water that we had. But you know,
There is definitely a similarity betwixt the two.
I doubt this is an insight roll, is it?
I still want to know what happens if you collide these orbs together.
What sort of orb is it? What sort of roll do we do for?
I don't think we
Arcana
should
check
do
would
that.
do best.
When will I ever be able to insight for something?
Insight is people trying to determine what they are thinking. And Azeroth, aside from the fact that it's the same shape as the water orb, you have no idea what it is.
Well, I'm stumped as to the orb.
Say again?
I am stumped to as the orb
Ah.
purpose.
Well, here's the deal. One of us is going to have to carry this thing, but one of us is going to have, constant whispers in their head.
Can we just leave it on the floor?
No.
I thought last time we put it in a backpack it was fine.
Actually, what did we do with the wind orb now that I think about it?
No, well, the water orb. You mean?
Oh, I'm sorry, the water orb. Yeah.
The water orb, I took it to the translator. And then it got stolen from him, remember? I didn't know what it was. I just wanted, I wanted to know what it was, what it could do.
Because it was water symbol and you're an otter.
I'm a seal.
I'm sorry.
Damn right you are.
Wait, you're not an otter?
No.
No, Tato's a fish.
I'm a seal!
Well, you see, when you try to push in an otter's face, it can go in, but when you push a seal's face in, it goes all the way. It is why hitting him with this hammer is mildly useless.
So he's a blorb.
No, he's
Pretty
a
much.
fish.
No, I'm not a fish. You stop that. You stop that right now.
Well, okay, let's roll to see who has to carry this god awful thing. You two, Nim, we can strap it to your back.
But then I can't fight.
You can fight, or in a saddle, or still wear a backpack, I should say.
It should be noted that when you carried the Watcher Orb previously, as long as it was not in direct contact with you, it didn't seem to do anything.
See?
Yeah,
Word on
see,
We'll put it in a sack and strap it to Nim and call it a day.
I'll bite you.
Whatever. Well, does anyone have something they can put it? Yeah, put it in your coin bag. That way you won't.
Okay, how big is
There-
this orb?
Elysian opens the bag of coaling.
Oh, you can't put it in the bag of coaling. There was a force field to stop.
Oh.
As all attempts to place it into an extra dimensional space fail.
What? How big is this thing?
The orb?
Yes.
Yes.
It's about a foot in diameter.
Yeah, Nim can't really carry that.
I'll do it.
Not trying to get out of it. It's just, you know, it doesn't really
I'd
work.
have to really stuff it in there, but I can get it in there. I'd have to rearrange my inventory a little bit.
No!
What do you mean no?
No.
So, just imagine a little window popping in front of you. Is Tato taking the orb? Yes or no? Vote now with your phone.
Da-da-da. There's no phones during this time period. Witchcraft.
I gave you an F in chat, don't worry.
Don't all decide at once, guys.
I'm not touching this.
Just
you guys make
put
the
it
decision.
in your bag and let's go.
I pushed F
Finally.
already.
I was gonna say, I can't make any decisions here. I'm not here yet.
Okay, with the orb secured, it does look like the thunderstorm is slowly lessening. The further you take the orb away from the altar, the smaller it becomes.
I wonder if that thunderstorm's hiding anything inside of it other than, the
Oh
orb.
yeah, it is. There was some really weird thing. I think it wanted to use my body, which is why I dropped the orb.
Yeah. I'm gonna drift off. You guys tell me what happens when I walk incrementally away. This is as far as I'm gonna go. What happens to the altar from here?
Should I roll a perception? to tell
If you
him?
are gazing into the thunderstorm, please.
Okay. Right. I will tell you exactly what I'm looking at right now.
Just as soon as I am told. The storm does seem to grow incrementally smaller with every step that Tato moves away from it. But Azeroth, as you gaze within it, you notice the shadow as well, and it seems as though it's closer.
So it gets smaller, but I think it's moving closer.
New plan, run very fast away with the thing.
Wait, does the wind also decrease?
And actually, yes, I was going to say, with that perception, you will notice that the wind that was previously rushing down this passage is growing less.
Also, it's less
It's not
windy,
a
guys.
huge difference yet, but it is definitely something.
I have noticed that it is less windy, guys. I think that we should... I don't know. The shadow moves closer, and it gets less windy, and there's less thunder. I mean, it sounds like we should move further away from it, but...
Or we could try and destroy it.
Well, now that I think about it, that isn't exactly a bad idea. Who thinks we should destroy the orb?
I think destroying the orb
not
is
the
a bad
orb.
idea
The
too.
altar.
Oh, destroying the altar.
Oh yeah, the altar.
Well,
we
the
should
altar
definitely
is
destroy.
essentially a big block of stone that juts up from the floor.
What
Yeah,
about
I
the
also
pillars?
don't know how we're going to destroy that.
If somebody wanted to give me either a Arcana or Religion check.
I can do that.
Sure.
Nim, this thing is made of stone. It is a thing of humans. You have no idea how it would be affected anyway. I mean, you suppose if you smashed it, it might break.
Smashy, smashy.
Anybody doing anything else? Well, these three, I believe, are dealing with the orb.
I ain't here yet, so.
Well, doesn't mean you can't be doing something else. I don't know, you could be looking up at the ceiling, counting bricks, any number of things, really.
I'm most likely going around sneaky, sneaky.
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
Oh no,
not
it's a raid.
ranked.
There's an
I don't know
Hey.
how to deal with these sort of things, guys. Oh my god.
Well,
there's too many.
hello there, Mr. Haller.
Party's doomed.
You and your corporation are more than welcome at this here corporate retreat.
However, if you left just now because of his voice, you know, I wouldn't blame you.
Likewise. Likewise.
But we have masseuse tables over in that room. We have the finest of spas.
Roll the flap, Zim.
Directly to your right. There is also our
Roll the two.
sauna over in the back.
I rolled a 7.
And please make sure to stop by the buffet, where only the finest of selection of exotic meats may be found.
I want exotic butters.
Most
well,
of
next
it is
time
cooked
you're
in
back
butters.
at base camp, buy some from Greaves.
Anyways, hello everybody, welcome. I'm Razim. This is Furry Dungeons and Dragons. We'll get back to the game now.
I'm still curious to see what Extreme Makeover Tomb Edition is going to be.
Me
Well,
too.
Wait and see, my friend. Wait and see. Windows wants to end the game.
Well, tell
Don't let
Windows
it.
no.
I actually can't. It's not giving me an option to say no to these updates.
Is it on
It's
the
your
server?
Windows, not mine. It's on the server.
Strange. Does it have a
So
time?
Windows.
Does it have a countdown or something?
No, I'm working through it. I'm just telling it.
What?
No.
Windows will.
While I'm
update
doing
now.
that, back to my question. 3 people are currently working on the Orban Altar issue. Nim, Azeroth, and actually Tato and Elysium, so 4.
Nim
Which
is
I guess is just about all of you.
thunderously howling at the
I noticed. And,
one of the pillars.
you know, it might flake off a few pieces, but this is massive stone.
You know, I think my moonbeam is probably still active. Nim will move that to the center of the altar. I'm sure it's not going to do much good. But then
Okay, are you aiming at... Well, the altar, if you examine it in particular, you might notice a few runes carved into it that are glowing faintly, but your moonfire doesn't seem to be doing very much. It is, after all, a fire spell.
Okay, he's gonna go and thunderously howl at on the runes. That's thunder damage.
If only
It
one
is.
of us knew the shatter spell.
I mean, thunderous howl is like a weaker
Why can't my hammer shatter?
shatter.
Oh, I don't know. Why can't your hammer shatter it?
You're just not doing it. So Nim's
I mean-
attempting it.
Fine. Go ahead, get your first attempt in. But I call follow-up dibs.
I think what you need to do is you need to walk into the cloud and then close an Oblivion gate.
God damn it.
I will support this idea.
That is the hardest option to do.
No, it's easy. You just run past everything and then you just grab a stone. Have you not closed an Oblivion gate before? You just go
You
straight through.
don't, it's, yeah, but you walk in, you gotta kill a whole horde, and then you gotta find the thing, and then you gotta deactivate the thing, and then you gotta walk all the way back out, which takes
No,
time. Walking forever.
You walk in, there might be a few imps, maybe. You can just run past them, ignore them. Go to the big tower that's large and obvious. Go to the top of the tower, there's gonna be a few stairs you gotta run up. You can
but there was
ignore
always
everything
a
on the way there.
small chance that it was an empty tower, and that it wasn't one of those big giant boss towers you have to run through and find no boss in. It was just a lot of more people to kill.
There were never bosses. Have you played Oblivion?
I value my time more. And I said there were boss rooms that didn't have bosses, basically big and empty and full of
Back
minions.
on topic here.
Yeah, I'd like to, play.
Especially since I'm done with what I needed to take care of, so I can actually pay attention again. The
Welcome to
thunderous
this
howl
Fists of Furry, where we
will
keep getting
rattle
distracted.
the altar a bit, but it doesn't actually seem to do enough to break things.
He's just doing it over and over and over.
Okay.
Can we do like a combined strength check to
My
to
turn.
push down one of the spikes that are coming up? One of those.
You mean the 100+ foot tall pillars of stone
Oh.
Yeah, my
that are thicker around their base than you are tall?
What we should do is build
Is
a
this
giant
true?
slingshot
Oh, for the
and
love
put
of...
Azeroth in it.
Perhaps... perhaps
'Cause you're the
somebody with a big hammer might be able to do something.
Well, I'm not gonna get in front of you casting lightning howl on it, now am I?
He's a good 20 feet away from the pillar.
Here. I'm
And
not
there's
about to
more
stand close
runes
by.
at just where he's at.
You said, and I quote, continuously cast Thunder Howl. So I said, okay, let's just stand back and give him room. Give him that. Sheesh.
Maybe what we gotta do is destroy it from top to bottom. Because, you know, it'll
roll
probably
to
be weaker on the tip.
I'm gonna roll to attack.
Maybe we need to take the shrine and push it somewhere else.
Damn you.
I love SpongeBob.
Oh!
Of course you roll them! You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, apparently!
Azeroth, you swing with your hammer, attempting to smash the glowing runes, and I don't know how, I don't know why, but you miss and stub your toe instead.
Well, that's because I wasn't actually aiming. Let me try again.
Okay, take a penalty.
Let's try! Yeah, okay, you just weren't aiming!
Okay, so this is what happens. Azeroth rides forward boldly in the name of Tempest, ready to smash this heathen altar into shards of rock and stone.
Man, I'm
Swings back, stubs his toe before he can finish the downswing, tries to dance back and downswing at the same time, and caps himself in the knee. Please roll your hammer damage on yourself.
Oh, fun. Wait, where am I? There we go.
Trying to pop your own kneecaps.
From the midst of the thunderstorm comes what at first sounds like a pealing thunder crash, but you eventually realize is actually deep, overpoweringly loud laughter.
The gods hate me.
Look, Storm, we didn't ask your opinion. Shut up.
You know what? I'm gonna give it the good one more try because I'm too stubborn to stop. Ugh,
Oh god. Oh, finally.
darn.
Okay, assuming you roll no more ones, you can take a couple of minutes and effectively blur the runes on the surface of the altar. They are more resistant than normal stone carving would be, and it takes several blows from your hammer to destroy each one. But nothing actually interferes with your attempt to do so otherwise. Now that you've, stopped tripping all over yourself. While he is doing that, it will take about 5 minutes. What are the rest of you doing?
Depending on how long this is going to last, the rest of us could take a short rest while Azeroth does his thing.
Oh my.
You're gonna take a short rest in the wind-filled, thundercloud,
Nim's gonna
overhung
loot.
room full of bloody bodies.
Well, we're supposed to technically figure out what the... Oh, anyways.
All
No,
that
it's
matters is that we're doing light activity.
Nim's going
Nim,
to
you have
loot the
particular
bodies.
difficulty looting, lacking hands, but you do find some very delicious corpses. A couple of them look like they've been tenderized. Although one of them stinks of sulfur for some reason. You're not sure why.
He's gonna pull out. He's gonna just start. He's gonna go around, find some nice cuts of meat.
We are not
As he does, nobody has any. The people don't remember how he does it. He just kind of collects the meat from the corpses.
You don't want to know how he does it.
Alright. Anybody else doing anything? Whilst Nim is butchering the dead and Azeroth pounds stone all day. Unfortunately, that is a magical hammer, and it will not be warped by your repeated activity.
I don't know, Tato's pretty far away, so he's just gonna chill out, stare at the ceiling for...
The ceiling stares back.
With what eyes?
The big shadowy ones in the thundercloud.
Oh, okay.
Apparently it's above you as well.
Elysian, what are you doing?
Elysian would be backing away from the weird altar and just not wanting to deal with this, but I don't have any explosives.
I mean, we tried to get Tato to go with that knee cannon option, but he wouldn't spring for it.
I'm not surprised, honestly.
I don't have the money for stuff like that. I'd need a sizable investment of cash to pay the artificer. I mean, I guess that's something I could do while chilling out back down here, is just doing maintenance on my leg.
You have a metal leg?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
But since Zim has brought it up, I think twice now, and no one has acted on it, if you would like to loot the bodies, I will need investigation checks.
The only body that would probably be even slightly interesting is the Wind Priest. Or
And
Prophets, or whatever.
Tato took her
she's
head as a
called.
trophy.
Okay, now that's just being creepy.
Hey, we need some kind of proof of our heroicness,
I mean, that's on you guys.
and that'll be the head of our enemies. And proof that we killed one of the greatest threats to the world.
I guess so.
I mean, that's pretty brutal. I usually just require small scraps and stuff for use of prayer, but you, oh man, you're hitting on a whole nother level.
Hey man, the world's gonna want to know what happened.
Although, is this cultist famous or something?
That would be a history check.
Also, don't be surprised if they come back.
Yeah, because you have the head of their god on your pike, doesn't exactly they'll give up.
Yeah, well, some
Also,
of them,
I rolled a
some people who are exceptionally evil. Actually, you know what? I should be rolling an Arcana on this one. Hold on. Just a self Arcana roll.
I rolled a history, by the way, on the head, on the person's head.
Actually, you know what? No, I could do a history roll on this too. Okay. So there are some.
Oh, you need to re-roll that in the tower. But yes.
Oh.
All them skill checks. Azeroth, you don't know anything about this person in particular, but you do know that she is a moon elf by her complexion. And the name she used was not standard for a moon elf.
Okay.
So the origins are likely other than the normal tribes.
She ain't no one fancy in my book.
Alright, so.
Tato, actually, with your knowledge in that role, which by the way, good job doing better than a 17.
Wow.
And especially if you discuss it a little bit with Azeroth, there are almost Fey aspects to her name, and you can almost sense that energy you felt while in the Feywild.
Ignore that.
No, I'm not ignoring that. Something happens to you because you rolled a 3.
I was also gonna mention the existence of the clone spell.
Well, there's more than one way to clone someone.
That's true. It's like you get someone evil enough, they know they're going to die at some point, so they got that little insurance there. Just saying, don't be surprised if we see that priestess again.
Okay.
Even though I'm holding her head.
So I assume that you leave the pile of bodies where it is, with all of their gear and magical items intact, and leave as soon as you're done with a short rest.
Are you asking the whole party?
No, apparently, because nobody's rolled to investigate it yet.
I could, but I don't want to get closer to the altar while I'm holding on to the orb. He doesn't know what could happen.
Pansy.
So for right now, the rest of the party would need to decide whether or not they want to loot.
I'm sorry, what are we rolling not to do? I'm sorry, brother.
Oh, you're
Roll to
busy
loot the
smashing
bodies!
an altar. No, you're busy smashing the altar. You can't do that. Though, Tato, I am adding the elemental orb to your inventory.
Oh, okay. Right.
I'll roll to investigate the head priest's body, I guess. Now ignore
First
that
off,
one.
That was initiative. Second, it was
I know. Huh?
Tower for skill checks.
Yeah, I know. I accidentally picked that up. I know where it goes.
Elysian. While everybody else is busy being scared, your hunter's senses tingle. You feel like there's something valuable nearby. With the quick, methodical precision that you have developed over months of looting bodies, you organize, search, and catalog everything you find, including a few items that some people might have overlooked. Well done.
Yay!
You find a collection of currency that I will just add over. There's about 100 each of platinum and gold pieces, along with a smattering of silver and copper. On the body of the prophetess herself, who, yes, did style herself the Queen of the Wind Cultists, Arisi had a number of very valuable pieces of jewelry. You find an ornate diadem, 4 rings mounted with overlarge sapphires, a bejeweled torque, which is a kind of necklace if you don't know, and her own personal spellbook.
Too bad we don't have a mage for the spell book.
We do. Well, we will soon, maybe.
Scattered amongst all of the bodies, you find 8 bottled breaths. If you'll recall, they're a potion that allow you to hold your breath for up to an hour. Looks like they were preparing to use them for something in the upcoming ritual. You also pay particular attention to her own spear, which again looks like that. It is an ornate silver weapon set about its guard with sapphires.
I like sapphire.
Pretty.
Do you share the jewelry with the rest of the party?
No, it's all... Yes, I do.
Wimp.
Huh?
Wimp. Any good rogue would steal it all.
Yeah, well,
if you would like... Actually, I'm not even going to require a check to appraise it, because I'll tell you now, you nat 20 that investigation. You think that diadem alone is worth over 6,000 gold pieces.
I'm keeping the diadem.
Each of the rings should be worth at least 1,000 with that largest sapphire. And the gaudy torque she's wearing should be worth at least 1,500.
Yeah, you guys can split the rings and the guard?
Torque.
The neck torque. I'm keeping the diadem.
Can you guys check to see if there's magic on them? Are they enchanted?
I don't know. Does anyone have detect magic?
I don't.
Okay, are you actually taking a short rest here, or destroying and looting and leaving? This is for the party at large.
That depends on how long Azeroth's going to take with the destroying part. If it's more than 10 minutes,
5 minutes.
He's going to take it.
It'll take him about 5 minutes to destroy the visible runes.
You know, unless he stubs his toe again.
Unless he stubs his toe again.
I guess Tato will just stretch for a bit.
I'll have you know my toes are on fire right now.
I'm pretty
I
sure
should
your
get
toe
you
is
some.
broken.
No,
And
no.
your knee is
Don't
fractured.
underestimate the power of a cleric. Especially since I'm the tank.
Need to get you some steel toe boots.
Okay, well, in the meantime, Elysian, are
Those
you
are
holding on
different.
to the jewelry?
Yes. For
You need to
now.
know whose inventory to drop all of this in. What would you like to do with the bottled breath?
The balled breath? Well, I'm pretty sure I already have some breathing potions, so I'll give balled breath to Nim.
Well, there are 8 of them, so more than enough for
Oh.
everyone.
Okay, then just split it even among everybody.
Everyone taking a bottled breath?
Sure.
I'll take one once I'm done.
And I'd like to, I don't know, investigate that spear. I want to know what it does.
Also, just to be sure, that bottled breath makes it so that way you can just breathe underwater, right?
Makes it so you can hold your breath for up to an hour.
Oh,
Exactly.
well that'll help us when we go back through that pass with no air.
Yep. So, do we roll Arcana on that?
Well, except you tried something similar already and it didn't work.
Elysian would go to investigate the spear using his eyepiece.
Ah, it had forgotten about that. Good choice.
Tell me about that eyepiece. What does it
I
do?
believe they are the eyes of minute seeing.
Believe they gave me a bonus on roll investigation rolls or
Yep.
something like that.
You should have advantage on any check made to inspect something.
That's
So
awesome.
go ahead and give me... I will allow you to examine it for value and offensive properties with investigation, but if you want to know any special abilities, it will require an Arcana check.
I'm going to do the Arcana check because
could
somebody's
be
going to end
her.
up using this spear, so
You can't quite tell what it is. You're not experienced enough with these magic items, but you can tell it has some magical effect applied to it.
hey, Tato, wanna get stabbed?
Well, that's one way to figure out what it does.
Fine. Small jab on my tail.
I
make an
love how
attack
your
roll.
first reaction was not no. Okay, stab Tato with the spear.
Honestly, my tail's been bitten so much that it doesn't even hurt anymore when it gets injured.
Okay, it is not a finesse weapon, so make a standard attack roll.
So just a standard. Oop.
Oh, great, you crit.
It's not one.
No, it didn't crit. It actually rolled a 2. That will
Not
not hit
one.
Tato's AC, but if Tato is accepting the blow,
I'm just expecting a poke on my tail. That's it.
and they could be considered helpless, so it's like it's technically a 10 to hit things that are helpless, but ha.
Okay. Please tell me what happened.
Well, we'll just say that you eventually hit him.
Can I say I'm done swinging this at this altar?
Tato, you take 4 points of pricking damage to your bum, and then a jolt of electricity zaps up you. It
So
felt a little
it's-
sharper than normal, and I mean, you've been stabbed a few times, so you know. It probably has some magical bonus to it. And then the shocking property. How long does the resistance from your armor last, by the way?
It lasts until the end of the encounter.
Okay, encounter did end, so it is no longer active.
Yes. So I take 4 damage total.
6 damage
You already-
already applied it.
And now Tato does the electric boogaloo on the floor.
I just
More like the jerks upright, his spine straightening as his muscles convulse with an
And then Teddy goes, whew, spicy.
There
Yeah,
you
can
go,
I borrow
Data.
that?
You can have it. I don't use spears.
Okay, dropping
be
that
interesting.
in Tato's inventory.
So now I got 2 spears.
Now
Wait,
you
I
can...
thought you already had 2 spears.
No, I have a spear that can turn into twin blades.
Alright, that's done. I will add the currency to your sheet.
It plays a little bit like a
And
packed
distribute
weapon, too. Sorry, I thought you were done talking. Thank you.
All the monies for all the peoples. Okay. The altar is at least disabled. With the last of the runes smashed, the thundercloud falls into itself, disappearing into a pinprick of wind that briefly blasts backward at all of you. Some of you might be knocked over, the less robust members. But for now, whatever event was occurring within has come to a close. The bodies have been looted and piled neatly in the corner, Blood and Elysium. The winds have died down, and the next move is yours.
Did you say you were going to add the spear to my inventory, or did you want me to add the spear?
I have added the spear to your inventory. It is currently listed as spear because it is unidentified.
Okay. Thank you. Makes me wish us... What?
Just briefly, what did I miss, guys?
They looted the bodies, found some nice jewelry, were unable to identify the spear that she was wielding. But a poke test revealed it has at least extra lightning damage.
Tato got butt stabbed.
Tato got butt stabbed.
I got stabbed on my tail.
And
Specifically,
Nim,
the
you
tip of...
get about the same result that Elysium did, where you know it has some magic applied to it, and it's definitely offensive in nature, probably a bonus.
Okay.
But you can't say exactly what. It
Figured I'd
looks
at least
like
try.
it is outside of your range of abilities. Its aura is too big and clouded for you to figure it out, essentially.
Fair enough. I see we got some money. Yay.
I got some cash. Elysian says that he'll give you some jewelry when you get to someplace where it's useful again. Whether you believe him or not is your choice.
Elysian doesn't lie to people he likes. Or trusts.
When did Elysian like or trust Nim?
You're just saying that because he won't taste your terrible cooking.
Honestly, you probably are. And no, he won't. And he trusts Nim. He doesn't trust Nim to cook.
Well, if you don't trust them, you can always trust your honest-to-goodness cleric.
Tato, as the altar is fully disabled and the windstorm vanishes, you feel A few minutes later, as you're beginning to walk down the passage, you feel a buzzing in your pocket.
I'll respond to the buzzing. Take whatever it is out. Is it the orb?
Oh.
It is the orb of, what do they call it, psychonesis? Or psi-amplification.
Oh, right, that thing.
Brum's voice comes over the end. I don't know what you did, but it worked. The winds appear to be dying down.
Yeah, we killed the priestess of the air cult, and we took out the orb. I got it in my... No orb, no energy source for the ritual.
Very good. We're still trying to finish up on our end. There's a lot of them up here, but hopefully we can move on to dealing with the rest of them soon.
How's it going on up there? Any casualties yet?
Well, nothing that can't be healed. I had a rather nasty griffin rider that did a number on the Lady Libelia, but her brother took it down.
And how's Lady Cat?
We haven't had a chance to see her in a while. The last we did, she was weakening. Whatever they're doing, it's taking a strain on the area around here, and that, in turn, is putting a strain on her. We need to finish off disrupting their actions as quickly as we can, or she may not be able to stem the tide.
All right, we'll move quickly, or, as quick as we can.
Okay, with that, Brum breaks the connection. You hear shouting in the background. It looks like Zale's angry for some reason. Do recall, as you are leaving this ritual site, you do have 2 civilians with you. Or not with you now, but within these caverns that you will need to somehow bring to safety. Or abandon. It's up to you.
Oh wait, those 2 that we put in the closet, supposedly?
I remember where they are.
Yeah, they're not in the closet. They're by that lake.
The not-so-supply closet?
I don't know where you got a closet from.
Well, I mean, it was a storage room.
Yeah, we were going to put them there, but we decided...
Yeah, in this area here. Where
right, that alcove with the boxes. But...
Yeah.
Okay. Which way do you proceed?
Well... Actually, Tato can't make any decisions right now as he's so far away from the group.
I am tired after swinging my hammer.
Oh, then you should never be a blacksmith. I would assume that the rest of them catch up with you. Unless you're splitting the party, which, I love.
Never split the party.
Never split the party!
There was once a story about the guy who kept splitting up the gang in order to do things, and it always went bad.
I do need a group decision here. Are you going back for Neris and Desenia?
Yes.
Who are your 2 civilians? Then.
Well, we said we would guide them back, and technically we are done.
Wait, did you say Neris?
Neris Gladham and Desena Norvale. 2 women that they rescued from sacrificial bonds.
Okay. For a second, I thought that was one of the names that I knew. from the sound of it, maybe I'd like to get to know.
Maybe. Nerys is a farmer, or a farmer's daughter, actually, if you want to be that specific. So you make your way back to the lake in the southern section of the Howling Caves, correct? Any stopovers in between?
We should probably move incrementally while scanning, in case of repopulation, reinforcements, etc. So everyone start moving your pieces.
Do you want me to move for cricket or something since he's not here?
I figure we'll just gather you all down wherever the enemy is attacking next.
Okay.
Of course, nobody else seems to be paying attention, so maybe I'll just drop a shitload of enemies on them while you're away.
You could do that. I wouldn't blame you either.
Please don't.
Let's see, there have been requests that I bring a dragon into this.
Who requested a dragon?
What's the lowest level worm I can find?
Don't include a dragon that I have to kill.
Hey, if you're going to include a dragon, can you also include a deck of many...
Don't encourage him!
Deck of many things.
I'll tell you what, I will include a deck of many things if you let me bring in a Litholich into it.
No.
I'll be honest here. We've already discussed some of these things.
Fine, but it needs to be one that loves to play games. Okay?
I'll tell you what, I will bring in a Litholich that draws as many cards as you do.
Oh my god. Why are you guys encouraging such behaviors?
But for now, let's all please move forward.
Yes, okay, then we have decided to take the orb with us outside of the cave, knowing that the ominous shadow grows larger the more we move outside the cave with the orb. Is this fun?
Well, it was growing larger overall. And by the end, it was peering out of the portal at you, but whatever creature or entity was on the other side is now trapped with the portal gone.
Sounds good to me, then.
What did you call it again? A Litholich?
A Litholich. An Elithid... A Litholich.
How do you spell that?
Like an Elithid, but that's a lich.
It's like a list. It's a list.
It's like a Litlich.
I'm so confused!
Here, I'll see if they have a picture for you.
The Monolith Lich.
They do. There you go, that's an Litholich.
Oh! I get it now.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
no, yeah.
That has managed to gain lichdom.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to kill something like that.
Well, it's CR20, so... No, I'm sorry, it's challenge rating 22.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to kill something like that at a higher level.
Yeah,
for now.
Higher level.
Finally,
taking it cave by cave. To move things along, I will tell you that nothing has respawned in these caverns, assuming you are proceeding directly south. The Royal Guard was slain an hour before. Or no, you took a rest there, didn't you? A couple of hours before, the sacrificial pit there is empty, even of the remnants of her trap she set for you. And if you bypass the meditation cavern and head straight south through that fissure, you will arrive safely at the glowing lake.
Just pretend the entire party's moving with my character.
And we're going to pretend. There isn't even any black pudding to fight there in the cave.
Oh, my bad.
Gotta look both ways before crossing the road. Okay, we can cross now.
As long as Greaves isn't around, I'm sure we'll be fine.
You arrive to find both Nerys and Desena about where you left them. It looks like one of them has caught some fish, and they've had a nice meal while you were away. They are looking better than when you left them last. Less fatigued. Not quite as skinny, having had a couple of square meals. The welts from their bonds have also begun to heal.
Were we gone that
down
long?
here?
You guys took a long rest. They've had a night's sleep. And you
Oh
spent
yeah, I
a few
guess.
hours trekking upwards again. Okay, so at the lake, what are you doing? How are you proceeding?
Well, Tato tries to think about, okay, what can we do with these people? What's the situation? Tato like gives them both a look over, and like, how terribly branded and scarred are they?
They had a symbol cut into their foreheads. It will almost certainly scar. Right now, it's scabbed over. Aside from that, they were not overly hurt. Bruises from beatings mostly. A little bit of dehydration, which you solved. Some malnutrition, which again has been rectified to an extent. Nerys, as a farmer, looks like she's fairly physically fit. She's used to heavy work outside and is quickly rebounding. Desena, however, is a Waterdavian aristocrat. She's much softer, and, well, her mind is certainly keener. Her body is much more frail. Does that answer your question?
She has dysentery.
Yes, thank you. So, damn. I don't want you to panic when I tell you this, but the world up top is getting shredded to crap because of these guys. And right now, it's like they're using human sacrifices to fuel their spells. We can't just abandon you. That wouldn't be right.
Nerys looks thoughtful at that. She's a little bit frightened, but also set to get out of there alive, if you will. Desena answers that if you can get her out, there will of course be a reward when she returns to Waterdeep, and offers to alert the city of the danger here so that a cleansing force can be sent to act against the cultists. If you can get her out.
I'll do my best. I don't need a reward, though. It's just the right thing to do. But here's the problem. While you guys have that scars on your head, you're a liability to us. Who knows what that could be used for? Somebody might actually be able to control your minds at any moment with.
From that, Desena looks affronted, and Nerys looks terrified.
It's not that I wouldn't trust you. It's that I have no idea what that can do. You know, they might be able to do something to you with just a wave of their hand because of that mark on you. That's why this is such a dilemma to me right now.
Anyone else want to weigh in on this?
I just
Tato's
got
kind
back.
of been
The
only one
dentist
talking,
called me
so-
back. Sorry, like I said, I'm dealing with a abscess tooth right now.
You're fine. It's Azeroth and Elysian who are absent by sound. Tato's been doing
I've been
whatever
talking.
What did I...
I've
Okay,
been talking.
so I'm guessing... So there's a mind flayer here on my screen.
That's an Elithalich. We were discussing things, and I could throw at them since they weren't moving.
Oh, okay.
You are all back in the glowing mirror, that lake that you passed through on your way up there.
And
you
I'm
reunited
guessing...
with Neris and Asena, and Tato was concerned that with the ritualistic scars carved in their foreheads, there might be some arcane influence that the cultists can gain over them.
Well, by chance.
You know what? Nim's going to try casting lesser restoration on one of them. Maybe it'll help.
Okay, go ahead and I don't think you actually need to make a roll for that.
He's going to cast it at 3rd level.
It will remove the scarring. And it does look like some sort of... I wouldn't call it an enchantment or even a curse, but something seems to be fixed. Do you use that on the farm girl or Water Davian aristocrat?
Use it on the one that's like Tato would suggest using it on the farm.
The aristocrat looks more appalled.
Yes, she actually makes the comment, if you do choose the farm girl, that clearly she is worth more and you should have healed her.
Yeah.
This isn't about worth. Besides, aristocrats should always be able to sacrifice for those lower than them.
But I'm the one who can raise an army to help you.
We've been fine without an army so far.
Have you? Have you really?
Hang on.
Besides, who said we can't heal your scar up later? She's the one panicking right now.
And besides, you never know what could have happened. For all we know, the mark could have been something that blew up the heads as soon as we tampered with it.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Okay, here's the discussion we were having so far. Tato is worried that because they have that brand on their head, that scarring, that it could be a ruin to activate something to happen. A variety of different spells, maybe even to control them.
And I just made the comment that because the aristocrat was upset we didn't do them first, and I said, well, you never know, it could have exploded the moment we tried to take it off of you.
Okay. I thought I killed them.
No.
But assuming you target the farmer, as Tato recommended, she is fine. The scarring vanishes, leaving behind only the dried scab, and some shadow that was hanging over her seems to have been lifted. Her shoulders unslump slightly, and she seems in better spirits.
And lady, I don't know if you fully understood when I said the world is shredding apart, but right now, we probably don't even think kingdoms exist anymore. At least not structurally, anyway.
Just for good measure, I'm going to use 5 points of my Lay on Fangs. I can't find the exact details, but I know I have a doing so will cure of various ailments.
On the farm girl or the Water Davian aristocrat?
The one that I already did lesser restoration.
Okay. Some of her malnutrition seems to ebb away. She looks to be in better health.
Okay.
As for
the other one, as for the other one, I'm out of spell slots, so.
Okay. Where is the party going from here?
Up and away.
Besides, there's another reason I chose the farm girl first, and that's because she's stronger than you. If you were to be controlled by the enemy, we'd have an easier time dealing.
I'm not going to act it out, but assume she berates you for about a minute. To go over your options. You entered these caves from the far west, traveling east. You passed through a patch of cursed area to get here, and a couple of you very nearly died doing so.
I remember.
A little bit further east and heading north from that was another subterranean mushroom grove, which you practically ran away from. In the sacrifice chamber,
we set it all on fire, didn't we? Sorry to
no,
interrupt.
it wouldn't burn. It was a swamp. In the chamber that you found these two would-be sacrifices in, there was a path leading to the northwest. In the chamber where you fought a large group of meditating cultists, there was a chasm leading directly west. How would you like to proceed?
I'd like to proceed downwards to the south. Like, I'm not going to actually move, but down here.
I
If
would
you
like to
explore...
phone a friend.
Well, Tato has the phone. If you explore that passage, you will find it ends in...
Tato?
Well, a dead end.
Hey,
There is a little bit of fresher air whistling down from there, but they are
Tato?
small cracks, nothing you could really widen.
Tato?
Investigate the area.
Tato?
Yeah,
Tato?
if I'd like to investigate to see if those cracks...
Tato?
Can you let me finish speaking?
The
Yeah,
quadruped
but
is
Nim
poking you for
keeps
attention
yelling your...
repeatedly.
Tato?
What?
Can you call him? Call the friends? Ask them for help getting out of here?
For help getting out of... You mean to extract our guys? Our two ladies?
Well,
No, to extract all of us. I thought we're done down here.
No, I mean, there are a lot of unexplored areas we haven't touched.
No, we're not. We only have one of the orbs. There are 3 others.
Honestly, I do kind of agree with Zim. The best bet would to regroup with Zale and the others, and then do our next form of attack, and make sure and get the orb somewhere safe where it can't be stolen from us.
So, really quick question: wasn't the other group going for one of the crystals without us? Or, I'm sorry.
The B team, as I have dubbed them, were assaulting the Howling Hatred base up above.
Okay.
So, from what Brum told you during the previous interactions, they are somewhere above you right now, trying to clear out another nest of cultists.
Then we're good for now. Okay. Then...
I mean, we could probably meet halfway. I don't know.
We could try to make our way through the moss area again. I mean, we know to look up this time for the thing, so...
Alright, well, here, you guys take the phone. He just passes it to Elysian.
Okay.
I want to check out this rock face here. See if I can widen this.
Nim tries to snatch it with his teeth. Carefully, of course, but...
Yes, I know you want to leave. I want to leave too. I'll work on that, okay?
Zim rolled for it.
As such, you leave it largely up to Elysian how it works. If you want to make an acrobatics check yourself to keep the orb.
Wouldn't this actually be a dex save?
Say, it should be a sleight of hand, if that's still a skill.
Don't dex saves counter sleight of hand? Isn't that how it works?
Yes. So acrobatics won't really help. Acrobatics would be to jump on Elysian's shoulders and I don't know, balance on your nose or something. If you want to grab it, it will be a sleight of hands check.
Although for Nim, it'll be a sleight of snoot check.
Elysian, why do you have a plus 18?
Because he's a rogue.
I have a plus 18 because I'm a rogue, have double proficiency, and a set of gloves that adds 5 to all of my sleight of hand checks.
He's pretty much built. You're not going to get past that, sorry.
Yeah, if it requires a sleight of hand check, I'm succeeding unless I roll one.
You should be able to use sleight of hand checks in combat to do stuff with it.
I thought that was a natural ability. That said, I guess I'll guard the girl, seeing as the rest of you guys are trying to break a hole through a wall without my hammer. Now that I think about it.
Anyways, I was going to go and contact Brum.
Okay, if you concentrate on the orb, you will feel the connection establish.
Okay.
As soon as it does, you hear what sounds like sort of explosion, very similar to a fireball going off. Taito, what is it? A little busy right now.
Yeah, quick question. Are there any more cultists down here from the other places, or do we need to go assault one of the other bases?
Yeah, cultists, there you are. I don't know. Try looking around, see if you can spot any different colored robes.
Okay, because as Teo told you, we got the orb, the thing stopped, so yeah, we're going to take a look around then.
Tato will then grab the gem, but not like take it out of Elysian's hand. Can this link up with a three-way call? Tato's gonna try.
If you try, you wrest control away from Elysian.
That's fine.
What are you going to do with this orb? Who are you calling?
What do you think I'm calling? It's a two-way orb. It's basically a walkie-talkie. Oh, fuck with me.
It's a walkie-orby.
Yeah.
Actually, it's
Walkie-thinky. A roly-thinky orby. Whatever.
But I'm going to go see if I can find any of these other colored rooms.
Robes. You should look for other colored robes.
Oh, robes.
You
Either
didn't
way.
fully understand what you were asking. Because if there are other cultists around you, he can't tell because he's way above
I
you,
was
right?
asking whether there were any other orbs to get around here, or if we have to go somewhere else.
Alright, so Tato thinks into the orb. When, whichever one of us discovers the next brand of cultist and attack their base, let's try to work in tandem and make sure we're both attacking the same cult. They're kind of separated down here. Apparently they hate each other.
Well, that was the His words cut off with what sounds like electricity crackling in the air around him.
Sounds fun.
I think the Thunder guys are here.
Shit.
For those of you examining the wall, I've only seen one investigation check so far. They appear to just be minute fissures that are letting in some warmer air from up above.
Alright, we need to move, guys. That was... I don't know what's going on up there, but I think we just distracted Brian. Come on, let's go. Let's get a move on. Let's...
That you have not tried yet, and one that you know is cursed.
How about north, up where these spore things?
That would require going into a mushroom forest.
That's what I said before. We should go back there because we know that last time we went through a
Gold
mushroom
King,
forest,
please mute
everything was on
yourself.
the roof.
Well, except for the poisonous mushroom dogs that attacked you.
Fair.
But just an idea. We should tie some cloth around our mouths and noses. Don't want those spores getting into us. Any objections to that?
I was going to go explore closer to the air place, see if we can find something more so over there. Did Tato go?
Need be, take a party vote on which direction you want to take.
Oh, there's Tato being slowly dragged across the...
I think we should make our way through the mushroom forest. I mean, you know, at least we know what to keep our eye on there, and every other way it doesn't seem that much safer. Plus, I mean, we could go back the way we came, but didn't we have to ride like an... I forgot, did we ride an elevator to go up and down? Or was that a stairway? No, we fell, that's right, using hot air balloon.
Elysian, I want to go in a completely different direction because all the cultists are spread out. You know?
I'm
We
not
killed...
Elysian.
I'm talking to Elysian, though.
I guess so, but I feel like that's the way that will lead us to more cultists nonetheless. But,
Well,
okay.
there was that one pathway that was just a little bit after when we got in, that still
Yeah.
unseen. So, okay. Who wants to go through the poisonous mushroom area? No one?
Fine.
Okay, well, no one said anything. Who wants to go through the pathway before where we first came from that was unexplored?
I don't.
So which way did you want to go? What was your option?
Through Mushroom Forest to go north.
I said who wants to go to the mushroom forest. Say. Anyways.
Sorry.
That being said, 2 people say mushroom forest and 1 person's undecided, and the quadrupeds don't care. It's like, whatever. So let's go through the poison mushroom area.
What's the map called again? I lost it.
Howling Caves.
I'll
Lair.
reshare it.
Thank you. Meant to put down a pointer, ended up losing. Okay, so parties decided we go up north, towards the mushroom forest. So, while taking a short rest, I can craft the, some cloth masks for us out of some cultist robe.
Okay. Give me a quick survival. Is it survival still? I think so.
I don't know, it's like a really
Yes,
simple
survival.
craft check. Literally anybody.
No, give me a survival check for
Okay.
generalish.
Breathing. Breathing.
Stop.
You know that if there is a danger of spores, a cloth mask is not likely to be effective enough. Chances are they'll be too small for this rough spun fabric.
I have a simple solution to this. Elysian puts on his face mask.
Would that work?
Don't know, but it's the only thing I got. So,
Did you bring enough for the rest of the class?
no, get your own.
Remind me of this mask.
Do I not have it on?
I don't know your inventory by heart. There are a lot of you.
I had it by... It's usually a mask built into his hood. Let me see.
Well, if it's basic cloth, it's likely to have the same issue.
Well,
Yeah,
we
it's
could
just
use.
basically a cloth. It's nothing too fancy.
Gosh darn it.
We could
So
use
it's
our
more
potions.
mask
Sorry.
for anonymity than
I
any
need to-
sort of
I'll take it.
safety.
Yeah, you should probably actually get it like an actual mask that thing. Be able to do it with this item.
Tato, with your survival, you would know that if there is a dangerous spore, that would work, but general mushrooms, that won't be an issue. It would more likely be a problem with the living myconids.
Does Tato know what kind of mushrooms those are? I mean, I guess I could roll a nature check on.
Well, you would have to go and look, which the group has, I believe, at this point decided to enter the mushroom forest. Yes, yes?
Yeah,
It
I
would still
guess
be
so.
good to know.
Hanging at the entrance to the forest, you mostly see the same ones you saw previously. Tall, tree-like mushrooms and a few ground-based ones. You recognize a few of them as poisonous, but only when ingested.
Would I know if they're poisonous through skin contact? Or inhalation, or just eating?
None of the ones you see there have any sort of inhaled toxin. It's ingestion only.
Oh, never mind, guys. There's not even a problem.
Why not?
These guys, they don't, words. The spores from these won't do anything to you.
Why did you make a big fuss out of it?
Because I wasn't sure before.
Okay, fine. Can't fault you for being careful. Anyways, let's just move on then.
Okay, entering the mushroom forest and the mugs.
Let's get our party formation going, guys.
Yes, marching order. Always with the marching order.
I'll be behind Azeroth.
Well, are we able to see in this pathway, or is it dark again? That's what I forgot to ask before.
Everything here is dark unless otherwise stated. The area around that lake is lit, so the first 10 feet or so of that forest, remember each square is 10 feet, but past that it is pitch black.
I could light a torch.
Oh, I assume that you're using Azeroth's light spell anytime you go anywhere dark. Unless you state otherwise, that is my assumption.
Well, I have Arcane Eye as a spell I could cast. Or I can use it to light up my, I can light up a torch. I'm sorry, my hammer.
Okay.
Oh.
Unless anybody else has a complaint, you may enter the mushroom forest and face the dangers within.
How many times is he able to cast light and have, like,
He can have
several light
one
sources
item lit at any given time.
Oh, okay.
It is a cantrip, so he can use it as many times as he wants and keep it going continuously, but one item only.
Okay, thank you.
Where's that? I didn't know this. But with the Arcane Eye spell, I can move the eye 30 in front of me. Or in any direction of me, and still have night vision. So I will do that. I think I'll cast Arcane Eye as well as, put a light spell on my weapon. Am I able to do that, or is that...
Yeah, we're not in combat.
Only thing is it still comes with a level 3 spell?
Can you cast it as a ritual?
What letter represents a ritual?
R.
No.
Oh. Sad days.
No.
Setsu.
Anyways. Yep, I cantrip light on my hammer, and there goes their little spell, Cry. I'll send the eyeball a little bit in front of us, and they can pay attention to up. So that way, you can pay attention to the ceiling. Aha.
So you're using...
Arcane Eye spell. Let me drag on. Whoop.
That's a level 4 spell, not a level 3. That's my problem.
Oh, my fault. I still have a slot for that. Haha.
So you're scouting ahead with the Arcane Eye, yes?
Yep.
Okay, give me a perception check through the Arcane Eye.
Fun.
Okay. By and large, this mushroom forest is similar, these are not there yet, to the previous one that you saw, but it is larger. And it seems to be a little bit more well kept. The pathway that leads to the middle of it is actually raised above the swampy water to either side, and looks as though efforts have been made to level it. There is no ledge going on the outside as there was previously, but as you approach the middle, you see a large myconid. I'll share their image for you again. Sitting in what appears to be a chair carved out of one of the mushroom trees. A howling hatred priest is sitting in another chair conversing with him. And behind them, raised out of the marshy water by stilts, is a small hut with a sign hanging from it that says, Myconid Mushroom Preserve.
I will tell them
They
all.
are sipping some kind of hot beverage, possibly tea.
It seems like this is a swamp reserve, and I see one of the Howling Hatred guys there with one of the plant people sipping tea.
You see correctly. I say we make friends with the mushroom guy and kill the Howling Hate cultist.
I don't think that'd be an easy thing to do, considering that if we do attack one, I think the other would be hostile.
Well,
That's why we make friends with the mushroom guy.
I have a comment to this.
Do you have a better plan?
If we can convince the Myconids that the Howling Hatred is trying to destroy literally everything, including the Myconids, they might join us. If they can even understand
what do you
us.
think being friends means?
Yeah, but I don't think the Myconids speak common.
Do we have any comprehend language spells?
Last time.
Actually, Tato, as a monster hunter, go ahead and give me a check for that if you would like. Survival would likely be the best. The knowledge nature would work. Actually, knowledge nature would likely be the best, but survival would work. You put that backwards. Lower DC with nature, but survival will work.
Figure just go with what I'm proficient in. Wait, my survival's not a +4, it's a +7.
It's not my fault. See if we can fix it, then roll again.
There we go.
Okay. You do know a little bit about myconids. They don't speak at all. Instead, they, terrible as this sounds, communicate through spores. They form a link with the creature by infesting them with benign spores and communicate telepathically.
We have a Zelos. So Zelos, tell us about the car.
If we want to talk to one of these myconids, we'd have to let them, kind of infect us with their spores for. I'm willing just because I want to know how to experience it, though.
Good, because I was going to place you as a volunteer anyways.
I want to smack you, Grandpa. I want to smack you a lot.
Me.
I'm gonna smack you.
I can tell you what to do. I'm your parent.
Gonna smack. I'm gonna smack. One of these days, Alice.
Yeah, and then when you smack me, I'll ground you.
Are you two related?
Huh?
Are you two related?
The characters are? Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was kind of
there's
a blind side. It started out
history
as a joke.
there.
Started out as a joke and we ran with it.
Fine. Tato takes the head of the Howling Hatred priestess and like tries to just subtly hand it off to Elysian.
Elysian
Here,
takes it,
please.
puts it in the bag of pulling.
I feel like this would sour a relationship. And take my weapons too.
Okay, who is proceeding into the myconid forest?
Only Tato.
Only Tato?
Well, you could bring your other weapon, just not your new spear, I would think.
Well, yeah, take the new spear, take my weapons. All of them, because I want to show that I am not a threat to this.
Okay.
Oh boy, should we trust really Tato with diplomas?
Well, he
Nim
does
will
have a
take the
penalty to
spear.
diplomacy, but he has Intimidate as a bonus.
Nim will take the spear and chew on the shaft.
I mean, it's a metal shaft, so you'll just dull your teeth.
No.
My teeth are magical, so they're okay.
Yeah, so is the spear.
Bad, Nim. Bad. This isn't a chew toy.
To clarify, are you
your teeth on it?
Fine,
Here,
I won't
his
chew on the
hunting
spear.
spear or the spear that you picked up from the prophet?
Instead, I'm gonna chew on the chewing stick that I've got.
All right, please roll 1d6 for me. One moment.
The stick takes 3 damage.
So, first off, welcome to the stream, Crickets. You just got hit by a magic missile.
Wow.
Just so you know.
A good start to the night, yes. Very good.
So as you come to your senses after whatever stupor you were in, as they made their way out of the thing, I'll catch you up in a moment, you take 4 points of magic damage as Nim pulls out his favorite chewing stick and a magic missile hits you in your derriere.
Not my derriere. That's where I keep all my cheesy wheezy.
So, a quick recap for you. The group destroyed the altar in the air node, which dispelled that thundercloud that was gathering, looted the bodies, and then made their way south to the glowing mirror, where you left your 2 civilians. Nim healed the sacrificial mark on Nerys, farmer's daughter. And then they are now making their way through the mushroom forest, hoping to find the exit. Oh, and you have had a short rest. I apologize. Ignore that. Wrong button. Before we go any further, If you wish to spend any hit dice, please do so now.
And I can spend, what, up to my level in hit dice?
Well, you have a limited quantity of hit dice. You restore half of them on a long rest. You currently have 7 left.
I didn't realize I have to use them one at a time. I am sorry.
You're fine. Now, what Tato is about to do is, because myconids can only communicate to somebody they have infected with their spores, and then they communicate psychically. So Tato is offering himself to be infected by a myconid.
Very
so
brave,
that he
sir.
can, so that he can communicate with the hive mind.
And for that accidental use, go ahead and give yourself an extra 8 hit points. So you will be missing only 10. I will adjust it for. Essentially, by clicking for multiple, you didn't gain your con bonus.
I left out the bonuses. I am sorry. I have learned something new. And you're going to go. You're going to go let yourself get infected by funguses?
I'm going to manually roll your hit dice for you to get into the 2, actually. Then I'll add the 10 back. I'll make this work.
But you're going to allow yourself to get infected by spores to get tapped into their psychic network?
They're an intelligent species. They deserve diplomacy. At least.
No, I agree. I agree, but I mean, wouldn't they stay between your toes? What are you going to do with all that fungus between your toes? How do you evict a fungus after it infects your brain? I'm just curious.
We'll figure that out when we get there.
Myconids can still hear, right?
Yeah, can
Not
they hear
really.
us?
And they can hear sounds, but they don't really
They don't make sense.
interpret them. They need to communicate telepathically.
Right.
All right, so make sure you tell us a safe word that you can use, Tato. Something that we can know that you want us to get you out of there. Perhaps banana.
Nah. It needs to be a word I can reliably work into a sentence.
Triskaidekaphobia.
Maybe something with only 1 syllable.
Oh, I got it. Help. Say help.
You could just say spear. I mean, it's 1 syllable.
Yeah, true.
Yelling out spear is gonna make people wonder what the fudge is wrong with them.
So remember, even if you're screaming in abject pain as they take over your mind so you can telepathically commute with them, if you're screaming, that means it's okay. You have to say spear.
Fine. Spear will be the safe word.
There we go. All right, go for it.
Can't go wrong.
Alright, as Tato approaches, he's going to just lightly stomp on the ground to alert his presence. I'm
Using
coming.
a heavy tread, arms spread to invite all of the pain, yes?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, as you approach, the Howling Hatred Priest looks in your direction, and you almost think he smiles under the cowl of his robes.
Tato smiles
Reaching
right back.
into his very dark, very evil-looking robes, he pulls out a lute.
I do hope you're not about to cast a spell through that. I'm here unarmed. I just want to talk.
Now you can give me a diplomacy check if you like.
Mr. Zim? Is Zim here?
Yes, I am. What?
Could you pause the music?
Why?
Early every year,
Oh, it's
seeds
persuasion.
are growing. Unseen, unheard, they lie beneath the ground. Would you know before the leaves are showing that with weeds all your garden will abound? If you close your eyes, stop your ears, hold your mouth, how can you know? The seed you cannot see may not be there. The seed you cannot hear may never grow. For in January you still got the choice. You can cut the weeds before they start to bud. If you leave them to grow higher, they'll silence your voice, and in December you may pay with your blood. So close your eyes, stop your ears, close your mouth, and take it slow. Let others take the lead, and you bring up the rear, and later you can say you didn't know. Every day another vulture, it takes flight. There's another danger born every morning. In the darkness of the blindness, the beasts will learn to bite. How can you fight if you can't recognize a warning? So close your eyes, stop your ears, close your mouth, and then you know. Let others take the lead, and you bring up the rear, and later you can say you didn't know. Now today you may earn a living wage. Tomorrow you may be on the dole. Though there's millions going hungry, you needn't disengage, for it's them, not you, that's fallen in the hole. It's alright if you run with a pack. Now it's alright if you agree to all they do. For if the fascists are slowly climbing back, well, they're not here yet, so what's that got to do with you? Now the weeds are all around us and they're growing, and it will soon be too late for the knife. If you leave them on the wind that around the world is blowing, you may pay for your silence with your life. So close your eyes, stop your ears, close your mouth, they're never there. But if it happens here, they'll never come for you, because they'll know you really didn't care. The cultist then gives a smile to Tato and shifts back his cowl slightly, and it does away. Hello there. How you doing?
I'm doing great, So, wait, were you in disguise as one of the cultists, or are you one of the cultists?
You notice that the cultist robes are completely gone from his body now. Sitting in front of you is someone who looks to be more of a bard. Fox of that nature as well.
Does he answer his question, though?
I don't really associate with the cultists. Are you the ones that they were sent down here by my good friend?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Zuxia? You know Zuxia, right?
Ah, yes. It's kind of my fault that he's even a part of this.
Right. He did speak of you with such disdain. Regardless, he's called for me to assist you.
Oh. I'm surprised he
still
was even able to
100%.
do that.
Still Teo's fault, totally.
He shipped me here in a
it's
box. It
Tato's
was
fault.
very, very odd. But I was able to adapt. By the way, have you, would you like to meet my friend here? His name is, sorry, what was it again? Right. They don't exactly have names.
No, they don't.
That's kind of why I came here alone. I offered
A small
to actually...
cloud will drift towards Tato.
Tato will, like, inhale it through his nose.
The first thing you hear isn't so much words as a sensation, and you have no way to describe it in words. And then a voice fills your mind, even though it doesn't sound like words, your mind assigns words to it. Well, howdy there. Welcome to the Tiabyssal Myconid Mushroom Preserve. Would you like to sample some of our product?
It's quite good, I assure you. He leans down to take another sip of his tea.
Am I speaking to the entire Myconid hive mind down here? Or just a singular?
Oh, I'm all alone. But it ain't so bad. Once, all sorts of people would come and visit me, but well, lately you two've been all that's come by.
I'm personally surprised none of the other cultists came down this way.
Yeah, I'm shocked, to say the least. Have you told him the situation? Or do you not want to scare him? I don't know.
I don't think... To be fair, I may need to be caught up on the situation a little bit myself. I did a bit of traveling to get here.
Tato's going to try and think and talk at the same time, the same words. Okay, so 4 cultists factions. Each of them got their artifacts of power based off of the 4 elements.
Oh, you're talking about the cult of Black Earth, the cult of the Crushing Wave, the cult of Eternal Fire, and the cult of the Hauling Hatred.
Yes, I am.
Beautiful.
And so, right now, the world, both inside and out, are being torn to shreds. Kingdoms are being destroyed, entire lives being completely upturned. I don't know what's actually going on up top, but from what I've been hearing, it's mayhem.
Well, that's war for you.
Oh, this is no war. This is just destruction, genocide.
How long has this been going on for necessarily? Because I haven't seen anything in the past 5 days.
How long have we been down here, guys?
Well, I've only been down here 2 days myself.
I would allow an intelligence check to count up the passage of time. Given it's in the Underdark, there isn't exactly a day-night cycle.
I haven't been here that long.
Best you can tell, Taito, a week, maybe?
I've lost my track of time down here, so I'd say a week. They've only just recently got their artifacts and power, and we only just recently wrested one away from the Howling Hatred, and killed their priestess.
Well, are they destroying the whole world, or are they just destroying your world, then?
Oh no, they plan to destroy the whole world.
But what they're currently destroying right now, though, is that just, you know, where your people are at, or is it the entire world? Because, again, I haven't seen anything. I was out there. It seems fine to me. This was a little bit ago, but I doubt it could be destroyed that quickly.
Huh. Thanks for updating me.
Not a problem. That's part of the reason I've been sent down here. By the way, proper introduction. I am Moriarty McCann, the esteemed entertainer and bard at your service.
I'm Tato, Monster Slayer.
Ah. Always good, I suppose. You're good at slaying things besides monsters as well, I assume.
Of course. Mages. Especially bards, actually.
The Myconid proffers a cup of tea towards Tato, by the way.
Tato will gratefully accept it with both of his hands. Thank you.
McCann softly takes a sip of his tea. Especially bards.
Tato will take a sip of this.
It's an earthy taste, if you've ever actually had a mushroom tea. It's not at all unpleasant, but it's not like normal roasted tea leaves either. As you do, you are restored 4 hit points.
I'll adjust my... Oh, never mind, you got it.
I got it.
Cool. Thank you very much. Okay, so the world's not in a bad as condition as I thought it was. That's my bad.
I mean, it could still be possible, as I said, that they're destroying your quote-unquote quote world.
Those of you back at the lake probably see the shadowy figures standing there. You can't really make out any details, though. There has been no mention of spears yet.
Even
Your arcane
eyeball,
yeah, you'll see exactly what's going on. I don't think it allows you to hear, though.
No, doesn't.
So you saw the cultist change to a not cultist, and now everybody's sitting around drinking tea.
Dot, 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 dot. You know,
It's fine, guys.
Can't hear you technically. But don't.
I'm of course not alone. Would you like to meet my friend?
He gives a nod and stands up. I wasn't expecting you to be alone.
You should
But
wave.
certainly.
See waves.
Tato does gesture you guys to come over.
Oh, okay, yeah. Tato wants us to come, guys. Or either that, or he's
Sip.
like something with his arm.
Okay, go over to Tato, I guess.
The mushrooms
And
here
Tato
taste,
his spear.
the mushrooms here taste very much like mushrooms.
You know, I happen to really love mushrooms.
Oh, then you'll love these.
You got any more of the dried mushrooms for the tea? That I could get a whole bag of that and drink. That's delicious.
Here at the Mushroom Preserve, we prefer everyone to pick their own product.
Do you have those ones that just make you see things? I haven't had one of those in a while.
Why do you want to have one of those right now?
I send an image into your mind, Moriarty, of the green mushrooms.
But what are we talking hallucinogenic mushrooms? Is that what they heard as I walked up? I thought they had dark spots.
Well,
Oh no,
if
no,
you got
he showed me which one it is, and he looks around for one of them.
Give me a survival check. Tato, your mention of the mushrooms for the tea, he will project an image to you of a sort of violet-covered mushroom. Moriarty, you managed to find one small green-spotted mushroom.
I took it away. Probably
Go ahead and add hallucinogenic mushroom to your inventory.
Are we all for mushrooms now?
Yeah, would you guys like to pick some mushrooms?
I feel this is kind of counterintuitive to the reason we were here, but
No mushrooms
Yeah,
for
it
me.
is.
Thank
You're
you,
right.
though.
We are kind of in a hurry, you're right. You see, we've only gotten one of the artifacts of power from the cultists. We're looking for the others. Do you happen to know the location of the others?
Oh, me? Well, that's a good question, do I?
You haven't actually met anybody but Zoxy down here.
Oh, okay, so... All right. No, I haven't. I was about to head off, but this wonderful, gentle, thing. I don't think they have genders, but
This.
Simply, we sat down, had a good bit of conversation. He seemed very lonely, so I did, humor him at least for a little bit.
Oh, wait. By chance, would he happen to know the way out? Like, as in back outside, or the top
I can
side?
ask.
Moriarty asks him mentally in an instant. Mal? We're asking the mycelium kinetically how we get out.
It doesn't actually know.
Does it way back upstairs?
I'll just always stay here.
What about, like, oh.
He just lives here, apparently.
He doesn't leave. He stays here.
I mean, that makes sense. This place is very homely to him.
Yeah, and the one upstairs had a monster. Well, no, wait. Yeah, there was one upstairs that we had to come through to get here, and so I was hoping he would know how to get back up there. But oh well, I guess there are different colonies.
Well, it does look like there's two little alcoves from here.
There is a path leading to the west and a path leading to the north. And we'll reveal a little bit more of them for you now.
Which path did you take to get here?
Likewise, a good question.
Strange.
I came from the west path, he says, gesturing over to the west path.
So if you came in through the west path, that means the way back up would be through the west path. Logic.
Well, sort of.
What?
No. You see, I was brought in here via a box.
Oh, well, that doesn't.
So I'm not. They smuggled me in, so to speak. Yeah. So at this point, I haven't actually seen an entrance or exit myself.
Oh, that's inconvenient.
Oh,
And both convenient.
Though I did come here from base camp, so the west is mostly clear.
All right.
So I assume we would head northbound then, if, we need to still find some relics or whatever it is you said you still needed to do. Otherwise, west, I guess, should lead back to somewhere safe. Base camp, whatever that is.
Get the girl.
I'm sorry, did you say girl?
Not you. But we have a couple of survivors down here that need escape. They need egress.
In other words, we have to get them back up to... well, darn, I want to say a better place, but, out of here, basically.
You mean, you mean such as damsels in distress?
I mean, yeah, we can go that route. Although, be careful, I think one's a little testy, just...
He hops up happily, having his loot ready in his hand. Lead the way. ...
Oh, we're bringing them up here, I thought.
Well, I mean, here is a safe spot, I'm sure, but said we escort them.
Yeah, no, just leave the Water Davian diplomat in the middle of a myconid preserve for the rest of her life.
She'd be well fed, and she could be a vegan. You want to try the new vegan craze of only mushroom?
I mean, is it really vegan? Because they're kind of half animal.
Also, to be fair, it's a horrible diet.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have facial expressions, but somehow the myconid looks hurt by that statement.
If I might put out a suggestion, I think this definitely could be considered a vegan diet, specifically because these myconids are choosing to be eaten.
Well,
If you want to be eaten, how can you protest against these desires, eh?
The myconids aren't actually wanting to be eaten. It's the mushrooms themselves. You know, these things, not
Yes,
them.
exactly. Exactly. They're saying, hey, eat that.
They're not meat. They're terrible. And not
Anyways,
fit for
Not
consumption.
everything's about meat.
The thing that you miss,
Goddamn
regardless,
carnivore.
though, is that mushrooms are mainly fiber and they go straight through you. There's almost no nutritional value, unfortunately.
True.
At least for us. Probably for them, it's healthy as it can be, but for us, unfortunately, it is not.
Yeah, good for a treat.
Good for treat, definitely good for flavor, extremely good if you want to see some things, which, let me tell you, I've seen some things.
Yeah.
How many shrooms have you done before?
Generally, I've actually done, there's peyote, there's this certain kind of incense that I can see the future with. It's marvelous.
Okay.
And what's your relationship with Zoxy, by the way? Are you just friends?
Oh, we've been good friends, especially since he feeds me constant, little bits of lore and tidbits which I can make my music from. We go
Oh, so
way
you
back.
two consummate together?
Pardon?
Don't.
Don't ask.
Eat together.
I mean, let's just not go that route. Anyways, I think it best we go west to try to find the way out of here. If that's the least you remember coming from.
None of the rest of them want to consummate with me, but would you consummate with me?
We should not answer these questions or ask them yet.
Tato will just
Why
look
did
to-
any of you think it was a good idea to not tell him what consummation actually means?
Because it's funny!
And we didn't want to break little Shenzi's heart.
And I didn't think you'd be right to correct him in public, at least. Let's just go. But we're going west.
Listen,
I
just
have-
go with it. He thinks consummate has to do with eating.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Yeah, well, consuming is to eat. But he always has ate. It just doesn't really change the word entirely. Anyways,
Very well.
He means actual food that you serve on a plate.
Let's-
Gotcha.
we're going to go west to try to escort you guys out. You coming with us, I take it?
I'm not going to stick around here, as much as I would love to. Like we've already discussed, this isn't exactly a perfectly healthy diet. No offense to you, sir. He says to the myconid, and thanks to the myconid.
It looks like it was actually somewhat intrigued by the whole consummate idea and is watching Nim with interest.
No, thank
Oh,
you.
No, moving on.
Listen here,
So,
Tato. You tell him right now that he didn't mean it.
Moriarty?
It's Moriarty McCann.
Moriarty. Okay.
Tato actually
Well-
thinks to the myconid, here, connect with Nim too. And he
No.
gestures to the dog.
No. Bad Tato
He
slap.
gestures. I said dog.
Wait,
As I was going to say, you write song?
Yes, I write many songs, but before we continue, I do need to ask, why do you have a talking dog, and where can I get one?
He's a
I am not a
celestial being,
dog,
and-
thank you very much.
He gets very testy if you
and
call him
I don't
anything.
know. What's your god again? The moon god, right?
He's basically a sentient feral wolf.
Pray at her really, really hard. Oh, and he doesn't like being called a dog, apparently.
I have
And
been
what
attacked
was
with
the other thing you said?
Is there a save against Moonflare, or do I just get hit by it?
It's a attack roll and it hit.
Down
No.
boy, down boy.
Bad Nim. No
Bad
meat
Nim.
for you tonight.
Ow!
As the moon flare burns through you, the tea takes effect and you recover 9 hit points.
My
wait,
apologies. He's not well trained.
he's just patting out the flames on himself. Ah.
You don't train me.
No, you're badly trained in general, as in you lash out when you really
He
shouldn't.
called me a dog.
Again, everyone who meets you at first calls you a dog. This is no different
How
from the
do you not
townspeople that-
understand the difference
Okay.
between a dog and a wolf?
Well, that doesn't mean you
So we
attack
do-
everyone.
Yes, it
I have
does.
to end this a little bit early tonight. Zim has some errands to run. We have about 15 minutes left.
We're going west.
I believe there is a chasm that we're going to probably have to climb in and out of.
Don't worry, we have some backpacks for the quadrupeds. The rest of us are going to have a nice little climbing exercise.
Gotcha. There is also lightning inside of it, by the way, so be careful.
Wait, I thought we already dealt with the lightning thing. One thing.
Or did you?
If
Party
you
heading
dealt with
west?
Yeah, we're headed, as far as I know.
Yeah, to escort the ladies out at the very least.
Hello, ladies.
I don't suppose you know any restoration
Give me a quick
spells.
charisma check, just for funsies. The more slender of the two sniffs at you and turns away, obviously a noble.
I haven't even rolled my charisma yet.
She's in a bad mood.
She's
Well-
a noble. She doesn't like it.
She also has a really ugly scar on her head.
As I
She
was
does.
trying
It's,
to say,
opened up slightly and is bleeding again. In a second, we finish. The farmer's daughter, however, she looks like a nice, strapping young lass. It's looking at you rather interestedly.
She'll throw you over her shoulder.
No, she's not Tato's wife.
She wouldn't throw you over her shoulder. She would darn near stomp you out of existence. That's a difference.
So wait, one of them is a bird. What's the other one?
One of them is a farmer's daughter, the other is a Waterdavian diplomat. So they're both human.
Oh, both human. Okay.
To move things along, the cavern to the west is largely what you've seen so far, naturally formed. As you pass by that pathway leading north, you do hear what appear to be moans of pain. They're faint, as though they're a fair distance off, but you could investigate if you wish.
That's new.
Elysian,
yes,
may I borrow your bullseye lantern?
okay. Can I finish what I was going to say to our new friend now?
Someone was asking me about restoration.
Yeah,
and
I
someone
was.
else was asking about me writing songs for them for a fee.
Yes, I was actually not going to ask you to write a song. I was going to say that if we get up to some pretty weird things, so if you want to stick around and part of it, and then write a song out of that, I guess you could say that's incentive to stick around.
Oh no, don't worry. Zuxi has already promised I will have plenty to go off of being here. They've talked me into it already. No worries.
Oh, okay. Okay, just wasn't sure. But yeah.
Alright. I'm just gonna make sure to point the bullseye lantern around, especially the ceilings, and
Are you investigating that northern chamber or discontinuing along the westward route?
I'm continuing along the westward route while shifting the lantern around to get a better view of everything as he moves. Whether you want to, adjust a perception check for that or not.
Okay, you can go ahead and give me a perception check. Basically, I will adjust the DC based on the actions you were taking.
Huh, I thought this might, Actually, no, I don't think we've even used passive perception yet.
I have occasionally when nobody's bothered to make checks.
Gotcha.
Usually you fail it.
Usually.
Well, now that Crickets has advantage on perception checks of that nature, that might change.
I do believe I likewise have something
Nim
similar.
does also have advantage, but... Well, the scent gives you both. Crickets has visual, which is sometimes what is being measured. You don't see anything unusual along the path you are taking, but you hear what you easily identify as the crack of a whip, followed by another moan of pain to the north. It's almost more of a sob.
Sounds like kinky ahead.
I believe that's called flatulation.
Oh.
Tato makes a hand gesture for people to approach.
I thought that was what happened after you had a large amount of beans.
Technically, is there any really light for you to be seen?
Is there?
He's using a lantern.
Yeah.
I still have the eyeball that can send out, 30 feet.
Oh, so that, my good friend, is flagellance.
Yes, that's what you just said.
Tato holds his fingers, holds a finger up to his lips in a shush, and he peeks over the corner.
Okay, give me one moment. Okay, as you look around, are you shining the light in?
How dark is it? Is it still
Dark.
like pitch? Yeah.
I do make the gesture that I have a magical floating eyeball I can send out in front,
I'll just peer past him. What's is
And-
in the room?
All right. Tato will give
I mean, it's-
Azeroth a thumbs up,
You can only go
And
30
then-
feet up.
points his thumb at towards the corner. Like,
Okay,
just do it.
Azeroth, if you are investigating, give me a quick perception.
And we also have the monk who can actually see better than all of us.
I mean, yes.
Within, you see
I'm just
3
waiting in line.
humanoids who are hanging from the ceiling of this cavern, and I will reveal it for you here, by hooks set onto chains set into the ceiling. Their clothing is torn, blood drips from open wounds, and they look decidedly misbegotten. There are puddles of blood beneath them and in other places within the room, as though other people have already suffered. Some of them are drying, some are sticky and wet.
Okay, I was going to say
Who's
that the
holding the whip?
music piece that was playing right before
You
this one
do
did
not
not match.
actually
the
see
sound.
anything else in the room. The prisoners moan as wind blows into the cavern, stirring them in their bonds.
I'm going to look extra hard because somebody said they heard the sound of a whip.
We all did.
Xelos scouting inside.
Why not send me scout inside?
So far, they've only sent Azeroth in, or Azeroth's arcane eye in, which is an invisible sensor you can use to scout ahead.
I will attempt to sneak in, and I forgot to give myself advantage on the perception check.
Go ahead and roll it again. I'll take the higher of the two.
Technically, doesn't his eyeball that you got as a item, I think, allow you to see it in the dark? Isn't that the same thing?
I can
It
see.
extends his dark vision and gives him advantage on visual perception checks.
That is correct.
Okay. Mine doesn't.
So, Azeroth, as you look about with the arcane eye, you can't see anything that could have been beleaguering these prisoners. The room is empty, aside from those 3 hanging there and the puddles of blood. There are some insects scurrying along the ground, clearly drawn there by the food source available. Crickets, as you skulk your way into the cavern, you first see the 3 prisoners hanging there and the insects and the blood, etc. But then you notice a shadowy form near the back. It's almost translucent, but it looks a little something like this.
I will turn to my friends.
Who are not in the room with you.
Oh, that's right. I will go back to the door, pretending I saw nothing. Just like look past it, keep going, go to the door, look out it and whisper, "Spear." And then turn around and cast a Fist of Unbroken Air at it.
All right, we will close out here. Zim has some things he needs to get done and pick it up next week.
Okay.
Oh, dokie.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us. Before I do actually end and move on to the credits, I do need to remind everybody. A close friend of mine had their home run into by a bus. The bus was hit by an SUV, causing the bus to veer off the street and going through their home about 5 feet from where they were sleeping. Unfortunately, it has destroyed almost everything they owned, and they're struggling to pick up the pieces afterwards. If you guys can help in any way, you can donate to the channel here, and it will, I will be putting it towards them. Right now, they've asked me to help them out with managing getting the necessities and such back to them, because they're kind of torn up over all this, you know, understandably so. So please consider helping if you can. That said, thank you for joining tonight for Fists of Furry Dungeons and Dragons. We will be back next week with more. I will return tomorrow with Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I hope to see you all here for that. Should be lots of fun. I mean, it's kicking armies' butts with a smaller troop, so it's lots of fun. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining, and check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got a Patreon, Discord, Telegram, Twitter, all those good things, as well as very high quality merchandise. Everybody that's gotten some has loved it. I can't wear the shirts myself, but I certainly love the stickers that they put off. It's some of the best stickers I've seen as far as craftsmanship. Anyways, thanks for joining, and I bid you all a very fond adieu.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.